funeral service for a former pope has been presided over by a current one. Before the service, Benedict's body had been lying instead in St. Peter's Basilica, dressed in robes and clutching rosary beads, allowing tens of thousands of mourners to file past. Now, Benedict has been buried in the crypt under St. Peter's Basilica, where Pope John Paul II was originally interred in 2005 before his body was moved up to a chapel after his beatification.
Gathered from around the world who are present here today, processing in, and they will take their places.
Pope Francis joined hundreds of clergy and the laity in St. Peter's Square to preside over the funeral of his predecessor who resigned from the papacy in 2013. As it began, pallbearers carried Benedict's coffin out of the huge church and rested it before an altar in front of St. Peter's Square. Inside the vast space, thousands of people had gathered, including heads of state, royalty and clergy from around the world. Latin chants, sung by the Sistine Chapel Choir, echoed across the square. The mood was solemn and subdued. During the Mass, concelebrated by cardinals, bishops and priests, Pope Francis spoke of wisdom, tenderness and devotion that he bestowed upon us over the years.
Ancora una volta l'amore che non si perde, e vogliamo farlo con la stessa unzione, sapienza e delicatezza e dedizione che egli ha saputo elargire nel corso degli anni. Vogliamo dire insieme, Padre, nelle tue mani consegniamo il tuo spirito.
During the service, he was laid out in coffin made of cypress wood, enclosed first by zinc with a further wooden coffin inside. Some in the crowd held banners or shouted Santo Sabito, Italian for sainthood now, an echo of calls that were made during the funeral in 2005 of John Paul II, the last pope to die. Following the ceremony, at his own request, Benedict was entombed in the crypt beneath St. Peter's in an area once occupied by the coffin of John Paul II. Benedict was buried with a document in Latin that detailed some of the most notable occurrences of his papacy, alongside some coins and other papal regalia.
Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum, Spiritus Sancte operante virtute, vivicas et sanctificas universa, et populum tibi congregare non desinis.
10 years ago, Benedict made the rare decision to step down as Pope, citing advanced age as the main reason that he was no longer strong enough to lead the church. In his final years, Benedict lived in a monastery with the Vatican gardens. He continued to wear white and did not revert to his old name, being referred to instead as Pope Emeritus, a decision that was criticized at the time.
Per Iesum Christum unigenitum sum, Spiritum Sanctum, Dominum et vivificante.
At the end of the service, the choir sang, "May the angels lead you into paradise." Pope Francis placed his hand on the wooden coffin in a final prayer before it was carried away to be sealed and placed in another coffin of zinc and an outer one of wood.
Francis and the Pope.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
To a close. We will return tomorrow morning for the liturgy.
Meanwhile, the Catholic Church in Uganda has bidded farewell to the late Pope Benedict XVI, referring to him as one who served humanity and kept the church intact during his tenure of service. This was during a Requiem Mass held this Thursday afternoon at Lubaga Cathedral in Kampala. Let's take a look.
as the solemn requiem mass of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI was going on at St. Peter's Basilica, Rome. A similar ceremony was being held in Kampala in memory of the late pontiff. This was led by the Pope Nuncio to Uganda, Right Reverend Luigi Bianco.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, you have given the world its true light. Jesus, your Son, the Son of God. You abandoned yourself completely to God's call, and this became a wellspring of the goodness which flows forth from him.
In attendance was the Kampala Archdiocese Bishop, Right Reverend Paul Semogerere.
We are sad, but we also rejoice with him, knowing that he has dedicated his whole life to serve the Lord and have served well all the years of his life as a priest, a bishop, and a pope. One particular quality that all people have acknowledged about Pope Benedict is his brilliant and intellectual competence. He had a powerful analytical mind and always provided very sharp insights into challenges facing the world, facing the church and society. We can rightly acclaim that he was a prophet of our time and truly enlightening to society.
The chairperson Uganda Episcopal Conference, Right Reverend Dr. Anthony Zwa, graced the occasion.
We recognize with appreciation the pastoral achievements of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI during his pontificate. He served God and the universal church devotedly and was deeply convinced of the truth which he always upheld. We shall always remember him as an ardent promoter and defender of the Catholic doctrine as espoused by the Second Vatican Council, in which he himself made a significant contribution as a theologian.
The leader of opposition in Parliament, Matthias Impuga, was also present. Members of Parliament, division mayors and the general public.
It's been a very fruitful paper sale for the church, and he has had many landmarks for his service.
The Catechumen of Uganda, Charles Peter Maiga, also graced the requiem mass.
When Pope Benedict XVI was elected Pope in 2005, he stated that he was a humble servant in the Lord's vineyard. And before his elevation to the head of the papacy, he was instrumental in defining the position of the church on spiritual matters concerning Catholics and the entire global Christian community. He was also instrumental in defining the relationship between Catholics and non-Catholic Christians, and between Christians and non-Christians in the world.
The former pontiff, Benedict XVI, died peacefully on 31st December 2022 and has been laid to rest this Thursday, 5th January 2023. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now, government through the Ministry of Lands has embarked on a program of revitalizing the long-awaited processing and distribution of land titles under the systematic land demarcation. In 2008, government started surveying land in former lost counties of Buyaga and Bugangaizi. The exercise commenced in Kazingo Parish, Bwanswa sub-county, and was expected to cover the entire Bugangaizi and Buyaga counties, the current Kibale, Kagadi, and Kakumiro districts.
While addressing teachers and head teachers of government-aided schools in Kakumiro district, The Director Basic and Secondary Education, Ishmael Mulindwa, said making students repeat mainly in Senior 3 will be condemning them because of the change in curriculum. He says that this has been discovered that some schools complain of lack of enough teachers and start recruiting private ones, yet they are not properly deployed by the head teachers. He says that some schools are using this as a scapegoat to charge parents money for purportedly to recruit teachers. The Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, warned head teachers in government-aided schools to stop charging parents because it's against the policy of government and sabotages the implementation of the NRM manifesto.
Failing to provide education to everybody as promised in our manifesto. Why? Charges in schools. If you want to charge, organize your school. Nobody will stop you from charging even when you want 2 billion per student.
The Minister of State in charge of basic education, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, asked teachers to produce results in schools or else government will swing into action.
We want to see the issue of absenteeism being addressed through your professional DC. We want to see complaint about teachers. You are charging parents, you are distorting money.
Meanwhile, teachers in Kakumiro district have dissected the causes of poor performance in government-aided schools and promised to adjust in this academic year.
Among the causes, inadequate planning,
failure of learners to read.
Kakumiro district has grappled with both high school dropout rates of 46% and poor performance at both primary leaving examinations and Uganda certificates of education. The district in the last 5 years has registered 4% pupils passing in Division 1, while 14% failing according to data at the Education Department of Kakumiro.
Well, that was about the Ministry of Education tasking schools not to make students in S3 repeat S4. The Echisakate of Nawagereka participants have been advised to embrace moral behavior to benefit from this year's program. Executive Director of Nawagereka Development Foundation, Andrea Adrian Muchibi, says this year's Echisakate comes at a time when many learners have been traumatized by the COVID-19 induced lockdowns. The 2023 Chisakate is to last for 3 weeks, beginning on the 5th till the 21st of January this year at Muza High School in Mukono.
The Chisakate, an event annually organized by the Nabagereka of Buganda, has officially commenced with an appeal to participants to be disciplined. The Executive Director of Nabagereka Development Foundation, Andrew Adrian Muchibi, asserts that this year's theme was chosen basing on the 2-year students' experience with COVID-19 lockdowns.
The choice of the theme was driven by our interaction with the different children that we have within Uganda, and realized that many things happened in the 2 years that they're out of school. So one of the first things that we want to do is to make sure that we look at the mental health of the children that was mostly affected by the COVID lockdown.
Percy Paul Lubega from Finance Trust Bank, the main partners with Nabagereka Foundation since 2017, says they intend to empower the youth who are part of the bank's customers.
We sponsor children ourselves as directly as a bank that are our customers that bank with us through our junior products, but later go ahead and participate in conducting different sessions within the Chisakate Nabagereka, including financial literacy. So today, that's one of the events that we are doing. We shall be participating fully from the beginning of the Chisakate today up to the end of the closing events, as we also impact our children that are going to participate.
Chisakate facilitators led by Joanita Kawalia and Rashid Lukwago promised to empower learners with moral values, also known as Obuntubulam.
Mama feels one of the dynamics of her children this time, language is major, and we expect them by the time they'll come back, they'll be in position at least to construct and to talk in Uganda.
This year we are trying to link the differences between informal education and formal education, putting our children in the position of the positivity, the positive citizens, the positive children, the positive administrators and teachers, positive mothers and fathers.
Some of the participants UBC talked to are eager to learn a lot for the time of 3 weeks in Sakate.
Want to help my fellow Basakate who want to be leaders so they can improve on their leadership skills, because I love leadership.
I expect to make very many new friends. I expect to perfect my manners and my interpersonal relationships with my fellow, campers.
I also hope that I make new friends in this Sakate, and I hope I get new value.
Finance Trust Bank handed over a check worth 30 million Ugandan shillings in support of the Chisakate. I'm Nafka Farida and Andrew Sebira.
Now, the late Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Livingstone, Mpalanyi Nkoyoyo, has been commended for the tremendous work he did towards the development of the church and the country in his lifetime. This was communicated from different speakers during the 5th Nkoyoyo Memorial Lecture that was held at Anglican Matters site in Namugongo. The guest of honor, President Yoweri Museveni, pledged continued support towards the church.
Christians have gathered in big numbers at the Anglican Matters site in Namugongo to commemorate the life of the then late Archbishop of Church of Uganda, His Grace Livingstone Mpalanyi Nkoyoyo, for the tremendous work towards the church and the country at large. The celebrations included a memorial service and a lecture. The main celebrant was the Archbishop, His Grace Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, who commended the late Nkoyoyo for being an all-round person with a vision of developing the church and the country.
All these things we are seeing, orphanage homes, amaka agabana bamulekwa, the needy children, abali mu bwetaavu, he supported them. Yabawagira. I'm talking about Dr. Livingstone, who was not discriminating anybody. He loved the kingdom. Yayagala obwakabaka. He loved his king. Yayagala kabaka we. He loved the government of Uganda. Yayagala government ya Uganda. He was always supporting the projects. Ngawagira bye bikolebwa government. This man I'm talking about. Ono gwenjogerako nko. He loved. Yayagala. He loved. Yayagala. He loved God. Yayagala Katonda.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was represented by Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, Minister for Energy, who applauded Archbishop Mpalanyi Nkoyoyo for his good works.
The President requested that we take a moment of silence. Years back, this place was a deserted area until 2013, when my friend, on behalf of the Church of Uganda, decided to develop it. He came to me and requested for support. I, together with my family and on behalf of the government of Uganda, accepted to support this project.
President Museveni also appreciated the innovations which are ongoing at the site, pledging more support.
Especially the worship center. And I urge you to continue with this good work. I thank the Archbishop of Church of Uganda and the House of Bishops and the development team. We shall continue to support church to complete this project. I also salute the church for organizing this day.
Minister Ruth Nankabirwa had this to say about the late Archbishop Nkoyoyo.
Norwich abayi a memorial lecture. Emuyiya nti tufuneyo moment. Twerekereze byonna. Let us get a moment and thank God for the gift of Tata Nkoyoyo. Mwebale kuyiya.
Other speakers, including Omulangila Haji Kassim Nachibinge, also appreciated the late.
Eyali omukulembeze, a national leader, kubanga fenna yali mukulembeze waffe. Bwe yabanga abuulira, teyabuliranga bakristaayo bokka, wabula yabuliranga abantu b'eggwanga lyaffe lino Uganda. Yali musajja mugazi with a vast brain.
Musajja ng'ayagala ddiini lye, ng'ayagala eggwanga lye, ng'ayagala Africa n'amawanga gonna agali ku nsi. Archbishop Nkoyoyo yalaga omutima ogwagaliza. N'abakulu bonna ab'eddiini ab'enjawulo ababadde wano abazze musabira kino kiragira ddala nti no Archbishop Nkoyoyo yali akwata ku buli muntu yenna ku mutima ku muntu yenna. Kino kiragira ddala nti no ab'eddiini balina okuyigira ku ye.
Before the memorial service and lecture, participants first toured the ongoing construction site, which was envisioned by the late Archbishop Dr. Mpalanyi Koyoyo. The then Archbishop His Grace Livingstone Mpalanyi Koyoyo died on the 5th of January 2018. Rebecca Nantongo, Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Regulated by UCC.
Over the years, we've dreamed to get onto the world stage. We've had that dream crushed. We've witnessed a total defeat of what could have been our greatest moment. We've felt our spirits go up, only to take a hard fall. We've had our fires burn out and leave only scars. We've seized the wind and had it pulled from our grasp. We've seen pain and we've seen loss of the last fragments of hope. But we are made of resilience, and resilience never stops dreaming. So, we will dream even bigger with the Cranes Cup Bowl 2026. Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup.
Together, let's take Uganda to the next FIFA World Cup. For every Now Special you buy, we will give 50 shillings to the Uganda Cranes 2026 fund. You will also get the chance to choose how the Cranes Cup Bowl contributions are spent. Now Special, official beer of the FIFA World Cup and official beer partner of the Uganda Cranes.
Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless. The Uganda Small Scale Industries Association USSIA is a business member organization for micro, small and medium industrialists that has been in existence since 1979 with over 10,000 members and 16 regional offices countrywide. USSIA's core purpose is to enhance competitiveness through development, promotion, policy and advocacy for micro, small and medium enterprises.
Find us at USSIA Building, Umasho Grounds, Lugogo, or call us on 0414 574 527, 0774 130 454, or 0782 173 086.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Regulated by UCC.
The festive season is here and it's Christmas in 4G from Airtel. Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda, now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones this holiday season.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. Happy holidays this festive season with Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Kampala Capital City Authority has explained the alleged discrepancies in the rehabilitation of roads project funds, stating that everything is on course. In his address to the Uganda Media Center, the State Minister for Kampala Metropolitan Affairs, Kabuye Chofa Togobye, accused the Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago for being sensational with his accusations and trying to mislead the city populace.
Records regarding the civil works.
Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago recently shared with the media information regarding the expenditure of funds and the cost of City Roads project.
In Rubaga, it is 8 kilometers. It cost 93 billion Uganda shillings. That is over 10 billion shillings per kilometer.
Prompted by these comments, KCCA leadership, led by the State Minister Kabuye Chofa Togobye, explained the ongoing rehabilitation works on the roads in the city. Minister Kabuye accuses top city political leaders of inflating the cost of the project by overcosting the roads under rehabilitation, although he is quick to point out that the actual costing was guided by the donor.
The actual road construction works will take $246.2 million. And that's what I told you, to construct about all those kilometers of the roads, including the 5 kilometers of stormy water drainage works, the other signalization of junctions, which will be numbering to about 11 junctions. And we expect to install over 1,500 street lights, then other things. Now the total cost is 288, but out of this, about 48 million is made for other components of the entire project, and only 240 will go into the actual construction of the roads, including the drainages. So if the road mayor wanted now to misguide the populace of Kampala, at least would have gone into this. You better misguide people with the facts, to simply pick the project cost of the $288 million and divide it by $69. This is very myopic.
Also, the Lord Mayor accused the KCCA of trying to purchase a piece of land in Kisenyi on which to settle street vendors under unclear terms.
For 10 acres. Each acre 10 million. How much is 10 million? 38 billion Uganda shillings.
Responding to this, Minister Togabye says KCCA has not procured any land in Kisenyi, and as such, the said piece of land remains a private property belonging to one Bosco Muwonge.
Indeed, this land is owned by one Mr. Bosco Muwonge, which government accessed on a short-term lease, actually to be specific, 2 months, where the good heart of Mr. Muwonge partnered with, he made a partnership with KCCA to set up what we call the city bonanza, kind of, so that we can have our hawkers or vendors enjoy the Christmas period. But KCCA has never bought this land.
The ongoing Kampala City Roads Rehabilitation Project is a citywide infrastructure improvement program that aims at tackling congestion in the city through improvement of the city road network. Dorcas Kimono, UBC TV News.
Uganda People's Defence Forces has urged the ministries, departments and state agencies of government to respond to the Army's requirements while executing different projects to have good delivery for infrastructure and other services. The head of the inspection team monitoring and evaluation of the Ministry of Defence, Major General Henry Masiko, noted that the ministries, departments and state agencies need to cope with the need of the Army because for them they are given orders to execute by the Commander-in-Chief.
The Committee of Monitoring and Evaluation of the Uganda People's Defence Forces has embarked on an exercise to evaluate the work being done by the Uganda People's Defence Forces Engineering Brigade of different construction projects across the country. The Army engineers are handling 127 sites, and one of them is Kololo Senior Secondary School, where they are supposed to construct 42 classrooms within a period of 6 months. During the tour to the site, it was discovered that UPDF started the work in the third phase in September last year and completed within 1 month and a half.
We still have a period. We are supposed to complete this work by March, but we did it within 1.5 months. The project value was 541 million. They expected us to stay here for 6 months. We took only 1.5. Build our capacity. Even personnel, I think Fande can talk about that. They are more in training and we have enough. And to me as an engineer in my area, I command the 2nd Regiment. Where you see where I am, it is only 1 regiment. We have 15 regiments for engineering. And with the capacity, there are those.
However, the issue of demobilizing and mobilizing of work by different ministries, departments and agencies of government is affecting the operations of UPDF, especially the way funds are sent.
Because why we are here, we don't want the Army to disappoint the President. He trusts us, and we are making sure what the trust he has put on the force is not betrayed. But these other agencies have to come on board. Like now, if these 2 months the Army has not been on this site, if the people who are the end users, KCCA, could have seen and brought money, this holiday the children would have found structures, all of them finished.
Kololo Secondary School was chosen among those under government program to eliminate asbestos roofing. However, UPDF could not put iron sheets on a wooden structure, hence embarking on construction of a permanent structure. The head teacher, Kololo Secondary School, Edward Kanonya, says the works enabled them to have space where some of the students sat their end-of-year examinations.
The remaining work, I'm told, is close to 3 billion, 4 billion. The remaining work to completion. And yet what has been already done, it is close to 2 billion. So it would not have been easy for any one school, and especially Kololo in this case, to imagine ever doing this kind of work. The classrooms were small. Then we are devised that actually around that time, it was even COVID time, there were concerns of spacing, distancing, social distancing. So we were able to make the classrooms bigger, contrary to the original designs.
Uganda People's Defence Forces has a project in Gulu and Mega One at Entebbe Airport it is handling, and they emphasize that apart from their mandate of fighting to defend the country, they have exhibited capacity to participate in productive work in line with developing the country. I'm Nafka Farida and Stephen Kalisya.
Uganda joined Christian Council and civil society organizations including Climate Action Network, Navoda and Nyairongo residents in Chikube district have joined forces in the fight against climate change and its effects in Bunyoro sub-region. They plan to plant over 5,000 indigenous trees in the community neighboring Bugoma forest.
The Executive Secretary Uganda Joint Christian Council, Right Reverend Constantine Bonabinji, and the Executive Director, Climate Action Network, Proscovia Nanyonjo Vikman, are in partnership to restore Bugoma Forest, beginning with planting of over 5,000 indigenous trees in the communities neighboring the forest. Indigenous trees being planted include Cordia african, commonly known as Ngoma Ngoma, used to make boats, Musizi and Ugandan red mahogany.
The Joint Christian Council has decided to partner with other organizations to make sure that the reforestation of Bugoma takes place. First of all, we have started with planting trees around in the communities around. Then part of Bugoma.
The partnerships also entail advocacy for more funding from the central government and donors to provide direct service to the local people.
The directive of the president and also NEMA are pronouncing themselves. It means that they are ready and they're pronouncing themselves for Bugoma, not against Bugoma.
Right Reverend Bonabinji says that there is need to conserve Bugoma forests and other natural resources.
We really need Bugoma the way it was so that it can save us the desert.
Benon Tusingwire of Navigators of Development Association explained that as environmentalists, they have faced a lot of challenges in protecting Bugoma forest.
Actually, there are some mafia who are ready to aggrandize wealth through using these natural resources. For instance, NEMA recommended that the Hoima sugar should use only 9 kilometers, 9 miles. But today we see, with a lot of impunity, Hoima sugar going and taking the whole 20, is going to take the whole 22 miles that the kingdom gave them.
Residents of Nyairongo village say they are committed to identifying and planting the indigenous trees, like in their community, to mitigate climate changes. Uganda loses about 35% of its natural resources to encroachment, bad land management through poor farming practices, and poor waste management.
And now in a bid to promote and add value to the cattle industry, stakeholders from Western Uganda have come up with plans to enhance the performance of indigenous livestock. Executive Director NEFA Agritech, Robert Kabateirene, says they have come up with a campaign aimed at emphasizing the need to recognize the value of cattle across Uganda, especially the indigenous Ankole longhorned species.
The Executive Director, NEFA Agrotech, Robert Kabateirene, says the Ankole longhorned cows have always bailed out communities across the country, both socially and economically.
We intend to promote this product as a great inch in the tourism industry across the borders. The Ankole cattle industry will be creating over 500,000 jobs 5 years, according to our plan. It is from all this history that NEFA has come up with the ideas of Ankole Cattle Marathon and Expo 2023. So as to add value of this unique indigenous breed that many of are attached to the product of NEFA Agrotech and partners have in the past recognized farmers that have conserved the Ankole cattle with medals as an appreciation for generously conserving this breed.
A veterinary officer, Mesach Kamukama, says the state has interest in having the longhorn species to survive up to date, and in that regard, the government has spearheaded the construction of veterinary treatment centers across the cattle corridors.
After the marathon, we've chosen different districts where different districts in under cattle corridor where all those laboratories are going to be installed. So, tentatively, I think I'm clear on that point.
A renowned farmer in western Uganda, Muzei Kamuhingo Emmanuels, says a planned Ankole Cattle Marathon is to be held on the 29th of January in 2023, which will most likely address these challenges as cattle farmers.
When products zenyankore shabe government tirebe ngo zayambuka zazahiguru abo kuba hati omugasho gwenyankore kubagamba ezigire South Africa ikagira katari kamani ezigire burhamwe ikakora omugasho gwamani.
The Ankole Cattle Marathon chief runner is expected to be the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Report compiled by Ongeso Godwin Mark and Kayumba Stephen for UBC News in Kampala.
Now, a senior presidential advisor on manifesto implementation and economic affairs, Professor Ephraim Kamuntu, is bitter with Ugandans who spend negative energies criticizing government programs, calling them enemies of the state and development. Kamuntu said the NRM manifesto was the best and most reliable, and it's the reason Ugandans voted President Yoweri Museveni into power.
In NRM manifesto, which promises to secure the future of Ugandans. You must now ask, what is that security of Ugandans? I can tell you the first one is security, peace, and stability. This is a fundamental promise in the manifesto. In fact, we used to even say it of our competition. We say, look at all these political parties which are competing parties. What record do they have in maintaining security and of life and property of the people? And clearly people chose NRM because one fundamental ability it has is maintaining peace, security, and stability. And we are pleased. Right now, I'm talking to you because the country is at peace. The parish development model is intended to lift all those Ugandan households in subsistence economy, lift them out and put them in a money economy. Every household across the country must earn 20 million shillings per annum per household. To achieve this is why the parish development model is going to do it. We have put a parish as a basic planning unit. This is a revolution. This is a paradigm shift in our planning and budgeting. Instead of planning from Kampala, 10,594 parishes across the country are sitting as mini Ministry of Finance planning for their own development. Ugandans, we must be optimistic. We must be confident. We must know that there are rules of science. Survival of the fittest. We are competing with the rest of the world.
With that, we take a quick break. When we return, business news.
Paying for groceries the old way.
3, 4, yeah.
Allow me. Paying for groceries with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to conveniently pay for goods and services. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
That's my wife.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello? Hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey! You don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera, refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
And now in business news, fish farming is becoming an increasingly popular way in eastern Uganda as residents supplement their incomes. In recent years, government has been promoting fish farming as a way of boosting food security and income generation in the region. State Minister for Fisheries, Helena Doa, has rallied the people of Serere district behind fish farming as a way of improving their livelihoods.
Somewhere at Kamsala a village in Serere district, lies a collection of fish ponds where a group of farmers have teamed up to start a fish farm. Middle-aged Isaac Newton Onapito is served with his meal as the responsibility of ensuring the ponds are secure remains his passion.
Ngarakitsa kurna owaila nyametidwe jok asuman sumetidwe nari digiboridio eni lemidumnene ngarakitidwe asuman.
Onapito, himself a fish farmer, tells us how fellow farmers here were struggling to make ends meet. Fruits like mangoes, oranges, and crops like maize and beans, whereas economically rewarding, also needed a boost. This is how the idea of aquaculture was conceived, sold, and bought.
So ipupuso kirongun apostungo siana singintona po seibure na mina ngisi. Iso yongolo eneralo Isaac Newton Onapito abunga chita chamase unagaria.
Perhaps one day, Grace Fish Farmers Group, as it is known, will benchmark from its counterparts of Kikota Integrated Farm. Equally found in Serere Town Council, these have taken fish farming a notch higher with modern technology. These pumps are responsible for supplying water to the tanks. It runs using power from installed solar and generator systems.
It has oxygen diffusers responsible for supplying oxygen to the tank and also to the filters.
This life of fish is so short, it must have that quick, it must have the quick response to it in case there is a power failure. That's why we were like, the power that we're having is not enough.
In this upland fish farming house, about 4 tons of fish can be harvested in 6 months.
In here, we have advantages. One, fish is protected, kept off predators. So you find that, and there's also faster growth of water, since this system allows the filtration of water and oxygenization of water.
It is an undertaking conceived in 2006, starting with 3 external ponds. It was an income generation effort in Kikota, Ogoloi and Achelat areas of Serere district. Peter Ongaria is one of the brains behind.
We created a set of activities. One was mango planting, one was poultry, together with a small incubator, and the other one was startup fish farming. Fish farming took off much better than the rest and gave birth to this enterprise now.
Employment opportunities have been created, with 12 sourced from the local community and 3 external experts, bringing the total to 15.
My profit is actually the pleasure in seeing that Kikota place transforming. I see a village that is transforming. I see a village that so far at this particular moment, it probably has at least 3 to 5 million shillings circulating every month in terms of salaries of the people that are working in there.
Ponds have been dug, fingerlings have been secured, and fish feeds have been purchased. As the fish is fed, it is all hope for economic improvement.
What we have seen in here, these are tilapias being set for production. So we are using earthen ponds to harvest the fries after 21 days. So here we have the mothers and the males mixed. But you find that during the production process, the male ones make nests. Then the female ones lay the eggs. Then after fertilization by the males, they hold it in the mouth. So the incubation is all done in the mouth.
Between 500 million to 1 billion Uganda shillings has been invested here. What remains is digging of a valley dam to harvest and store more water.
From 2006 to now, we have more people in the community wanting to participate in this activity. For me, that is a benefit. Now, if we get power and we get a valley dam in there, then we have a community that can realize a critical mass of economic activity.
Like for the case of A-level students, you are at home for more than 6 months having your vacation, and you can be able to farm fish and use that money for going to the university.
It is just one example of how innovation and hard work can make a real difference in the lives of rural communities. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Now in sports, when one talks of Nambole Stadium, memories of the national team, the Cranes playing before thousands of fans, comes in mind. It is not only sporting events but equally festivals and Passover prayers that are being held in the stadium and continue to etch in people's memories. Now until then, during COVID, when it turned to be an isolation center, Nambole had lost its glamorous beauty and needed refurbishment. The UPDF engineering brigade that took on the role of facelifting the stadium has affirmed that Nambole will be ready for use by June this year.
When one talks of Nambole Stadium, memories of beautiful sceneries of the national team, the Cranes, playing before 4,000 fans comes in mind. It is not only sporting events, but equally festivals and Passover prayers were held, harboring many memories. Until then, during COVID, when it turned to be an isolation center, Nambole had lost its glamorous beauty and needed refurbishment. The UPDF Engineering Brigade that took on the role to revive the facility has affirmed that Nambole Stadium will be ready for use by June this year. The construction arm of the Army has for more than a year taken up renovation exercises that include the elevation of a perimeter wall, change of the entire roof, playing surface, the running tarmac, the hotel facility, and the general spectator stand.
He's telling us is that by, he's here, he can speak for himself, but he's saying by June, Nambole will be done at its standards and beyond. Because now they have restored to the earlier pre-COVID time, and they are assuring us. And from what we've seen, I think by June, they will be really ready to hand over that project.
The 4-kilometer perimeter wall alone cost close to 4.5 billion shillings, covering parts of Bweyogerere and Chireka. Before closure, CAF highlighted changes in the playing surface, size of the pitch, dressing rooms, floodlights, pavilions, technical bench, media center, and parking, among others, that were in their state. Currently, St. Mary's Stadium in Chitende hosts international matches for both the Cranes and clubs.
Well, and that does it for News Tonight. For now, we do return at 10 o'clock for more details. Mugalo Mohammed on sign language. I am Rhodah Ngonzi.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable.